Hey guys, Old Guy Gaming here, back again with another MTG Arena video. Tonight we're going to be doing another fun deck Friday. In this instance, it's going to be a free-to-play deck Friday, and that is going to be Forest Might, one of the starter decks that come in MTG Arena, currently under Throne of Eldraine. So, one of my favorite things to do is decks for new players, people that are just starting out in the game, and these are the 5 decks that come out. So there's a whole series the last couple of weeks I've been doing for reviewing each individual deck. I go through the deck itself, kind of the contents of it, and how I would improve it. And I've saved the 2 favorites, in my opinion, my humble opinion, for last in the mono green and the mono black deck. So the mono green one is Forest Might, and nothing says welcome to Magic to a new player than big green creatures punching someone in the face. It's super basic. Cast a creature, make it bigger, hit somebody in the face with it. It's a fantastic deck. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck itself. So, and there's a lot of good cards that actually come in this deck. So let's start off with some of the combat tricks. Giant Growth goes all the way back to the age-old days of Magic, way back in the very first set of Alpha set had Giant Growth. Spend 1 mana as an instant. Target creature gets +3/+3. I even love the artwork on it. It's really amazing. Barkhide Troll is a 2/2 for 2, but it comes into the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter, really making it a 3/3 whenever it comes into play. You can spend 1 mana of any color to remove that +1/+1 counter and give it hexproof until end of turn. I mean, that comes in handy from time to time. I personally just love the fact that it's a 3/3 for 2. Beautiful. Greenwood Sentinel is a 2/2 we affectionately call a bear. Any creature that is a 2/2 for 2 mana is affectionately called a bear, based off of the Grizzly Bears, again, from Alpha. This one happens to have a special ability of Vigilance. This is an okay creature, probably going to be one of the ones you swap out later on down the line. Growth Cycle is basically another Giant Growth. Target creature gains +3/+3 until end of turn. It gains an additional +2/+2 until end of turn for each card named Growth Cycle in your graveyard. So the more of these you cast, the bigger and bigger your creatures get. We don't do an awful lot of flying creatures in this deck, so one of the ways to get creatures out of the way in general, but specifically flying creatures, is a spell called Rabid Bite. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to a creature you don't control. So you can basically get a double attack where you can cast a spell, kill a creature on the other side, and then attack with a creature that you did that with. Let's keep going with growing stuff. Season of Growth. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield you control, scry 1. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, like the whole deck does, you draw cards, and you get 3 copies of this. Gnarlback Rhino, 4/4 for trample. You start getting a feel for what these big creatures in green are. They're big, they're green, and they trample over you. And whenever you cast a spell that targets it, you get to draw more cards. So there's more card draw, more spells that are targeting your creatures, more combat tricks that are making them faster, bigger, and stronger. Love. This is a really well put together beginner deck. You have 1 copy of Prized Unicorn. All creatures able to block it do so. Probably another one of the cards you're going to drop out. This is the ones that for 4 mana, I mean, I get it. You send it in with the rest of your big creatures is the plan. You take all these big creatures, you make them gigantic, so every creature that can block it does. They all target the unicorn, and then everything else runs them over. So I can kind of see where it's going, but I think there are better ways to build this deck other than this card. But we'll play with it for a bit. Silverback Shaman, again, getting into the big trampling creatures, and whenever it dies, you get to draw a card. Love the theme that's coming out here, more card draw. One of the kings of this card, oh boy, did I love this card when it got revealed early on. I think this is an M19 card that they continue to reprint. Fantastic card. 8/8 trample for 6 mana. And all other creatures you control have trample. In case you don't understand what trample does, trample's normally in combat, your creature attacks their creature, whichever one, they do their damage. All of that excess damage, let's say, for example, their creature had a toughness of 2, but your creature has a strength of 8. That additional 6 damage doesn't normally go anywhere. In Trample's case, it goes on to hit the player after that. So it's giving all of your creatures trample, gross, just gross. So 2 of those in the rare slot. You also get 2 Gargos Vicious Watchers. This is an 8/7 Hydra. Hydra spells you cast cost 4 less to cast, but I think there's only 1 other Hydra spell in the entire deck, so you're not really going to be using that ability. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a spell, Gargos Vicious Hydra fights up to 1 creature you don't control. So just keep casting creatures, and this thing's going out and killing everything. It's kind of crazy. Wakeroot Elemental. For 6 mana for a 5/5, you can spend 5 mana to untap target land you control. It becomes a 5/5 elemental creature with haste and is still a land. Now take note, that doesn't say end of turn. That's permanent. So you spend 5 mana to make a 5/5er with haste. Interesting. It wouldn't be a welcome deck if it didn't have Meteor Golem. Your standard 3/3, when it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent your opponent controls. Still can be useful. I still argue this card is so bad. It's so bad, but because the casting cost is so high. But it does leave behind a 3/3 body and take something out. So, I mean, for beginner decks, it's kind of okay. You will find reasons to get rid of this card early. But the one time that it comes up that you need it, and it'll probably happen today as I'm recording, I'm like, oh, thank God I had Meteor Golem in my hand. And the last one is going to be Voracious Hydra. It is a 0/1 for 2 and an X. X meaning you put as much mana as you want to in that. The more mana you put into it, the larger X becomes. Voracious Hydra comes into the battlefield with X+1/+1 counters on it. When it enters the battlefield, you can choose one of two things. Either double the +1/+1 counters on it, or have it fight another creature you control. So the whole purpose behind this are big trampling creatures that are fighting other creatures and just rolling over your opponent. Love green. I genuinely believe if you're starting the game of Magic, just getting your feet wet and how to play the game, mono green is really one of the places you want to start with it. I genuinely believe that. So let's go with Forest's Might, shall we? If you like the video and you're new to the channel, of course, like, subscribe. Always helps out the channel. I do have a goal of 1,000 subs by the end of the calendar year of 2019. Don't know if I'm going to get there, but we'll try. We'll see what we can do. If you've got a better mono green deck, you've got suggestions you don't like, let me know that in the comments too. Okay, so a whole bunch of Seasons of Growth and no creatures. How do we feel about that? Let's hang on to it. Let's see what happens. One thing's for certain. We need ourselves a green kitty cat. Blue-white does not stir areas of confidence in me right away. Blue-white control against a Ginger Brute. And I do not see a creature anywhere near here. There we go. We're starting to get creatures, but we've got a ways to go. If we're just going to keep growing seasons of growth, we'll take those damages here. Gnarlback Rhinos are going to be fun. Let's assume we can actually get one down, because with blue, they might just counter everything we've got. All that glitters. Oh, this is a... Ooh, I like this. This could be fun. Creatures would be more fun. How is it a green deck that I haven't seen it? My goodness, no creatures. Just, no, let's just keep going. Seasons of Growth. Eventually, we're going to draw a whole bunch of cards. But unfortunately, we have to take a beating from the Ginger Brute and all the glitters. Yep, here we go. Continuing to take the beating. Why would you attack with your 0/2? That makes no sense. Growth cycle. Okay, can we please cast? Thank you. Let's cast something fun, shall we? He is tapped down. And I do get to draw 2 cards. Sure, I'll take that land because I need it for the Shaman. Absolutely. So now the question becomes... I think we're going to have to hold. We're going to have to eat that one time. And I'm not fond of that. That Ginger Brute. Not fond of it at all. Yep. 6. Oh, this is getting scary. Yeah. And she does not count as an artifact, thankfully. I do not like the idea of being able to just get beat on. Except by creatures with haste. Ugh. I'm just going to have to take that. Not a fan at all. There. My goodness. This deck just did everything it needed to. Let's see if we can trick him into it. We're going to go ahead and swing and see what he does. Nope, he's going to let that go. So we're going to have to do this. Draw cards, and then Rabid Bite to kill the Ginger Brute. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Let that happen. Let that happen. There we go. We'll discard one of the 75 forests we have and don't need. Alright, so we're down to 4 life. Can we survive? That's the question here. We've got enough big creatures we can really start bothering them. He gets done another Ginger Brute, though, we're probably done. Well, he still needs all the glitter, which he pitched out, so we might be okay. He'll cast Ginger Brute again. It's still just a 1/1 though, unless he has another all that glitters in his hand. Very well might. Not putting it past him, but he is going to drop us down to 2. That's cool. Because I can't block Ginger Brute. Because all he has to do is, if he's even recognized it, he can spend 1 mana to make it unblockable. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so let's start casting down the big uns, shall we? I don't need another one of those. I don't need another one of those either. What I need are spells that'll help me do damage. Specifically to that unblockable damage sitting down there, staring me in the face. It would be cool, but sure, why not? I've got 1 more turn, basically. Nope, we'll wait. Because all he needs to do is put 1 spell on Ginger Brute and we're basically done. I need to make him rethink making that attack, which it looks like we're going to. Oh. Oh. I totally forgot it flew. Oh, well. No, he's going to hit us right in the face. All the stuff we could have done, couldn't hit that. Is what it is. Alright, so that's the first game. We'll move on. That wasn't so bad. It's just, we had a really slow start and he had a really fast start. Combine those two together. Like, we didn't really see much on our mana curve. We didn't see any of the giant growths. Nothing on the low end of the curve. Not really. None of our easy creatures to get out. Which is probably why I should have mulliganed that hand. That's what that's telling me. That's telling me you should have mulliganed that hand. There we go. That was a little bit of a wait there. Aradon. Cool name. Lava Johnny. Okay, so this is a little bit better. Couple of big creatures, but a couple of low casting cost stuff we can hit early. Good. And say hello. Oh, Kitty's saying, hey, I'm red, not green. What's going on here? Fear it. Fear the Greenwood Sentinel. Blue-red makes me think that we might be facing a Drake's deck. Ooh, interesting. Six. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold on to all the fun stuff I've got here in my hand until I actually need to use it. In the meantime, I'll just do damage. We'll just Seasons of Growth that. Punch him in the face. Keep up the good work. Way to go, Sentinel. 6/6. Oh, Deafening Clarion didn't work. Oh, poor you. And that's why you hold on to your combat tricks. There's no reason to do it. I have a feeling there's more coming. Fires of Invention. Ooh, this should be a fun deck to play against a relatively low-end starter deck. Cool. Teferi. Neato.
Stand by and watch. I've got you.
Cast my Sentinel one more time. See what else he's got up his sleeve. Ooh, Rabid Bite. Cool. Not that I anticipate them having any creatures whatsoever. Drawn from Dreams. Yeah, see, this is... you guys looking for the next broken combo. For those of you that are the experienced players, this is it right here. I can just cast Drawn from Dreams for free. For free. Time Wipe. Cool.
There goes nothing.
Sure. That's more 5/5 creatures as far as I'm concerned. Ugin. Well, this should be an interesting game. This is, like, I don't know why they would put us up against this particular deck. Oh, yeah, no, between Teferi and Ugin, we're not going to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and concede this one. Between the two of them, they're going to keep us locked down and we're never going to cast a spell. This is not a deck that this deck should have played against. And that's fine. We had fun with it early, at least. But once yet, Fires of Invention with Super Friends... That's not a starter deck game. It is nowhere near a starter deck game. There we go. Alright, so here's to hoping this is a better matchup. Blood Ruby. Cool. Okay, this is better. Low-end creatures. Some combat tricks. Absolutely. And let's go again with a green kitty, please. And we shall say hello. I think I might start with the Sentinels. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be adventures. Cool. We're getting all the meta decks. That's awesome. It's okay. Bring it on, meta deck. Let's see what you got. Probably Lovestruck Beast. What you got to say there, adventure deck? He's in debate. He's in serious debate. He's just going to let it go. Cool. We'll go with more vigilance creatures. Okay. Interesting. Sure. Sure. Interesting. Let's see what we go. Let's see what happens next. And we'll still kill it. Hee hee. We'll still kill it. Yeah. Order of Midnight. Pull that creature back out of the graveyard. Tap both of them again. Interesting. I like the way this one's built. It's a little bit slower, a little bit more mid-rangey adventure deck. I like this. What do I like? What do I like here? Sure. Sure. Draw a couple of cards. Go for it. Attack with everything. Draw another card. Cool. There we go. That's what this deck's supposed to do. Now, the question. What's he going to cast? What's he got? He's got oodles of cards sitting over there. Destroy all non-diet creatures. Including his own. Interesting. Absolutely. Let's get me a big old Hydra. Murderous Rider. Oh, look, are we going to draw the Hydra that we just had? Cool. Thank you. You're awesome. Yeah, you forgot that that did that, right? Alright, what do we got next? And I will say it again. Meteor Golem. Meteor Golem is going to come down and save me from whatever target up to one creature you control. That one. Yeah, you forgot to read what he does. You're gonna kill me. I'm gonna kill you. Cool. And here it is. Meteor Golem coming to save us again. I said this was gonna happen. This deck's got so much removal. And here it comes, a Meteor Golem for the win. That one, kill it. Make it die, go away. No, I don't think I need any more mana. Thanks. Meteor Golem! I can hear it. I can hear it. I can hear him on the other side of his screen going, Meteor Golem, you've got to be kidding me. Epic Downfall, my goodness. Every spell in the book that he needs to kill me. Nobody mainboards Epic. Nobody mainboards that card. Nobody. Sure, let's do Aggressive Mammoth. That'll be really fun. And he's used 2 of them. How many people main board 4 of those? Maybe 1? Maybe this is the guy? This is the guy right here that did it? Sure. Sure, absolutely want that back in my hand. Come on, bring your giant over. Bring the giant over. Oh my god, every spell he needs to kill every creature I have, he's got. It's ridiculous. The deck is just nothing but removal. That's all it does. It's insane. How many times has he killed creatures? Like 1, 2. Like I know there was a Murderous Rider that was in there. Sure. Hey, shouldn't I get the scry for that? Like, literally everything this guy has, he can just counter everything I've got. It's crazy. Scribe, Forest, don't need any more of those. Thank you. Wait, it's going to be more removal. He's going to find yet another way to kill a creature of mine. Look at that. I'm going to do that since I'm going to die. Because he's got yet another removal spell in his hand. It's insane. And wait, what is this spell that's coming in? This is Giant Killer, so we've got no other choice. It's like this deck is literally built to beat a mono green deck. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's got everything. This deck is quite literally built to beat everything we've got. It's crazy. Sure. Oh goody, more land. That's awesome. Oh goody, more land. Alright, so since we're going to lose this one, we're going to get one more game in with this one. Like, that could have been a really fun game, but, no, actually, look at the time. We're well into this one. Okay, so, cool deck. I mean, it's nothing in that deck was super overpowered. It's just frustrating that every time I get a really big creature, he had 5 answers in his hand to be able to answer it. It was crazy. Anyway, so, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Whoa. I did this in the mono red one. I recognized that in post, and it was way too late because I'd already posted the video. We're going to make this deck better. That was the last piece of this that I forgot to do. So how would I make this better for new players? So while I like all the combat tricks, I think we're a little overboard. I don't think that you need the growth cycles on top of everything else. So I would strip 4 of the growth cycles out. And let's go into some other mono green creatures that you can get into. So let's just look at mono green creatures because that's really what you're going to be looking for. So we're going to go into here into green and creature. So low-level creatures that we really enjoy. Pelt Collector, I would highly recommend. Yes, I recognize it's a rare. I do apologize for that. However, it is a 1/1 for 1. It gives you something to do on the low end of this one, and as creatures come in that are bigger than it, which is basically everything else in your deck, he himself gets bigger. He gets a +1/+1 counter for every creature that's bigger than he is. When a creature that's bigger than he is dies, he gets a +1/+1 counter. He can get really big, really scary, really fast. So I would strip out your growth cycles for him. Probably bump up another Barkhide Troll and maybe another Giant Growth just for fun to continue on. Seasons of the Growth is a cool one. I don't know that I would change it. Any other creatures I can think of, because basically what we're looking is what we're going to change. I'm not a huge fan of the Prize Unicorn. I see where that was going, but no. Also not a huge fan of the Wakeroot Elemental, or the Meteor Golem. There's so many other cool creatures that you can go with that are super easy to go. Again, you can go Growth Chamber Guardian, but again, these are rares. I don't want to like overload new players with the whole ones. Here's a good one that you should consider. This is an uncommon. This is Crawl Harpooner, because one of the problems this deck has is it doesn't have the ability to deal with flyers very well. This is a great anti-flyer creature. First of all, it's a 3/2 with reach. Reach meaning that it can block flying creatures. However, whenever it comes into play, it has an undergrowth ability that says it gets +X/+0, where X is the number of creatures in your graveyard. So, it's total creatures in your graveyard. So if you have 4 creatures in your graveyard, it's like a 6/2, and it gets to attack a target creature, target flying creature, so you can take down one of those big flying creatures. Highly recommend that card for this deck if you want to go with it. One of the other ones I can think of off the top of my head, where is he here? Yeah, Wildborn Preserver is a great card, but it's a rare. I'm trying to keep this into just simple commons and uncommons that everyone can get access to. There we go. There's the other one. Thrashing Bronthodon. So, Thrashing Bronthodon, for starters, is a 3/4 huge creature for 3 mana, getting a 4 toughness, but you can sacrifice it to destroy a target artifact or enchantment. So in that first game where we had a specific artifact that was really giving us a problem, can absolutely get rid of them for this. So I would definitely dump those in. Green can get super crazy with some of the great rare cards that you can get. I mean, you can get a whole bunch of rare cards. Questing Beasts for Mythics. You can get, Nullhide Ferox. You can do Nightpack Ambusher and just not even run any other wolves. You can run Wicked Wolves. I mean, there's a whole... Green has some amazing green creatures, so keep an eye out for some of this stuff. Again, Biogeniku is another great one. But I don't feel that this deck is failing in the top end. I think it's got a lot of cool stuff in the top end of the deck with a higher casting cost. It's the low end that I feel that it is really weak, which is why I'd even debate... I mean, Season of the Growth is kind of cool to be able to scry and draw all those cards. I'd almost debate removing them, to be perfectly honest with you. Debate removing those, definitely remove the Sentinels, definitely remove the Growth Cycles, fill in with some of the things like the Pelt Collector and some of the other better lower end creatures that you can put in here, so that you have something cool at each level to do this. On level 1 you're casting Pelt Collector, on level 2 you're casting the Barkhide Troll. When you hit 3 and 4 you're hitting Crawl Harpooners, and then you start getting into the 4 and 5 drops that are really big and really scary. So that's what I'd recommend. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think, how you would build your starter deck for a friend who's just getting into Magic, or if you're a new person, how did you build your mono green deck? Let me know in the comments down below. It'd be super helpful. So until next video, guys, we shall see you in the arena. This video was brought to you in no small part by our patrons. If you would like to help out the channel, go to www.patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga, and thank you for your support.